I got your bitch. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. They are to be ashamed. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Look at here. There you go. They're out here sharing marijuana. Look at here. There you go. The same old nasty ass people from last week. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. 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 Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Goddamn right, bitch. Corner doing dope. 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 Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Sitting on the goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Look at here. There you go. They're out here sharing marijuana. Look at here. There you go. The same old nasty ass people from last week. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Corner doing dope. Goddamn right, bitch. Sitting on the goddamn.
Yeah. No, buddy. Yeah, Eric, no, I appreciate you doing the show yesterday. Yeah, no, that was really cool, man. I think a lot of people learned the ins and outs of MMA. Yeah, I'm sorry he submitted an application to be a fighter. He's trying to lose weight, and I think that he thought that, he sees all the abs on all the fighters, and he thought maybe that was a thing. You don't match up cats, do you? No. Yeah, I didn't think so. But if you do get another cat that maybe wants to fight, maybe keep... Hello? Dude, what are you doing? You can't be an MMA fighter, okay? That's not going to work. We love you, though, all right? Go lose weight. Daddy loves you. What's up, you damn dirty deckheads? Happy Friday to you. Hey, it's Barry on deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. That was Oliver. Tried to be an MMA fighter. He saw the show yesterday and thought, I'll do this now. Not happening. Hey, I'm super excited. Welcome to the Friday show. It is episode number 39. We're doing it big. You know what Friday means. We're drinking. We got lawn talk. We got a bunch of crazy shit going on. Let's get to it because we're packed. We got a lot of sports and a lot of other stuff. Big show today. We've got show updates. We've got Antonio Brown, AB, maybe a Texan, the Washington R words. We'll talk about the Black National Anthem in the NFL, lawn talk, film sessions, and then joining me in hour number 2, the man, the myth, the legend. Don't call him Dick Burm. It's Richard Burmaster. He's a good friend of mine. He helped me start the Cage Door. If you don't know Richard, he used to do a show with Mick Maynard, who's the UFC matchmaker. Him and Raheel and Mick did a show on ESPN. Funny dude. Great friend. So it's going to be a good time for sure. So that'll be my guest. There he is. There's old Richard Nobody Burmaster. Gonna join me in hour number 2. Oh, did you hear Daddy fixed the super chat? Huh? Did you notice that? Did you hear it? Who's the super chat? By the way, we're gonna get to the chats. We're gonna get to a shout out to all the chatters. Oh shit, Charles Garza in early. Shouts up, deckheads. Well, I'm drinking. I mean, I drink every day on this show, but it's officially drink time. So I've got the Old Humble special reserve, making sure you guys can see it. So here's to you, Charles Garza. Thank you for the super chat. That was very nice of you. I appreciate you as always. Here, I'll turn it for the sponsorship opportunities. Cheers to the deckheads. Thank you so much for the continued support. It's very much appreciated. Now, while we're here, let's just go ahead and get our glass. Get this rolling. That's how we do it. Be sipping on that all day. A little Diet Coke chaser. That's how we do. All right, let's get to the chat. Let's roll through it. Who all's in? Roll call time. Richard Vales, what's up? Uriel Villanueva, Chris Householder, Chris Reyes, Clarence Marshall. Clarence was really good at Warzone. So is Chris Householder and Chris Davis. Richard Vales. We got to get to you in a second, buddy. Gregory Vega Jr. and Pops is in the building. Hell yeah. Who else? Francisco Abarca. What's up, dude? Deacon Jim is in the building. Cowboy fam, let me know when your episode airs, bro. We got to get you on the show for sure. Crystal Collins is in the house. Sandoval. One of our chat moderators, Luis Zalea, is in the building. Jeremy Vinegar is the other chat moderator. So when you see him in the chat, say hi and thank you for keeping it clean in there. Demetrius, what's up, buddy? Justin Swinford, Justin Kemp. The Justins are in the building, I see. TJ McLaughlin, what's up? Happy 4th of July to you as well. Robert Likes Beer is in here. Oh, there's Jeremy. Who else is in the building? Walt, what's up, peoples? Who else? Donna, my sweet Donna is in. I know I saw Jennifer. There she is. Jennifer is here as well. The gang's all here. Let's do it. Let's get right into it. Oh, there's AR Platinum. What up? The Washington Deckheads. We're done. Ooh, I wonder how much that would cost for me to get that. That's a good one though. I like that. Yeah, it's time to get litty, bros. All right, let's get right to it. First things first, got a bunch of show updates for you. I want to give shout out to all the Patreon members that signed up over the past week. Erica Rocha, who, by the way, Titan Hugo's better half. Appreciate you, sweetie. G-Man, Marcus Ragison, Super Falcons fan Aaron, who supplies me with tons of videos, and Jeshua Watt. Those are our newest Patreon members. Thank you guys so much for joining the Patreon movement. Unfortunately, we didn't move the needle. Like, we should be at 114, but I think some folks had billing issues and other stuff, and so we lost a few numbers. So it's holding steady at 109, though, so that's good. And then if you want to join the Patreon, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/BarryOnDeck. When you join, you're going to get all kinds of cool swag and shit, depending on the level that you sign up at. You can sign up for as little as $2. The most I charge on the Patreon is $10, but you get all kinds of cool perks and benefits, and it's your way to support the show. You don't rely on sponsors. You don't have to super chats, none of that shit. You just go, hey, look, I like the show. I like what you do. So here's $2 for the show. So anything is appreciated, and all the support is certainly appreciated as well. So when we get to 200 patrons, I'm going to add a third hour to the show every Friday. So today could be a 3-hour show if we had 200 patrons in the Patreon. Oh shit, we got a couple of birthdays. First of all, thank you for the super chat, Cowboy Fam. You shouldn't be sending me super chats if it's your birthday weekend, but Cowboy Fam said, take a shot with me for my birthday weekend. All right, here's what we're going to do, Cowboy Fam. We're going to take a shot for you and shots up deckheads for Richard Vales. It's also Richard Vales' birthday today, and Cowboy Fam, when I guess yours is tomorrow or Sunday. Either way, happy birthday to you both. Love the deckheads. Thank you for the support. Shots up to you guys. Not going to be too many more shots. I went back and looked at the replay of the Usual Suspects reunion. I was fucking wasted. You guys got me shit-faced that Friday. Not doing that again. Now, is that all the show updates? Oh, one more thing, and we'll get to Lawn Talk a little bit later. But there is the Yard of the Month stuff that's going on. So remember, I told you in June, if you wanted to win Yard of the Month and get some swag, all you had to do was send me a picture of you in your yard. I would narrow it down to the top 3. I would let the interwebs vote, and that would be the winner of Yard of the Month. Here is your Yard of the Month finalist number 1. This is Jason Abear's yard. Yard of the Month finalist number 2. This is Jennifer Jones. And Yard of the Month finalist number 3, this is Troy Maddox, and this is his yard as well. So, here's how the voting's going so far. It's pretty close. It is pretty close. It's between Jason and Jennifer, though. Troy is a distant third. Not even close, really, Troy. I like the yard. You did make the top 3. There was another yard that was really nice, but the dude didn't take a picture of himself in the yard, so I couldn't use it. So hopefully that gets rectified next time. But this is the voting. The voting is going to go through. This was right before the show started. So you can go and vote. All you got to do is just hit up the Twitter. Whoever wins that Twitter poll is going to win. So here's yard 1, yard 2, yard 3. The pictures are on the Twitter at barryisfunny if you want to check those out as well. And get your votes in for your yard of the month. And then that person will win a prize. I don't even know what yet, but it'll be some swag. So there we go. I like that the deckheads wished everybody a happy birthday. That's nice. We got all that out of the way. That's it. Let's get to it. Shit, we got so much shit to get to. Let's talk some sports, shall we? Antonio Brown. The rumor is, and Chad Johnson started the rumor, but Chad Johnson just tweeted out Antonio Brown to the Texans or something like that, and he did a little praying hands or whatever. And it got people excited. Deshaun Watson tweeted a picture of Drake in a limo, and I'll be honest, I'm so old, I don't even know what the fuck that meant. Apparently that means I'm down or I'm interested or whatever. But let's evaluate this realistically. Do they have the money? Yeah, they can make that work. They could get rid of Kenny Stills. They could get rid of any of the other receivers they have. Would he make this team better? Absolutely. If you replace DeAndre Hopkins with Antonio Brown, now all of a sudden you don't look like a big damn idiot if you're Bill O'Brien. Now you look like, especially if you could get Antonio Brown for less or the same money, then you don't look stupid at all. But if you end up having to pay him what you had to pay D-Hop, should have just kept D-Hop. Let's make that clear. But remember now, AB comes with some baggage. And if you didn't think that Bill O'Brien could deal with D-Hop's baggage of just his family members showing up, imagine what he's going to have to deal with Antonio Brown. There's the off-the-field issues. Remember, there are 3 different issues that are still unresolved with Antonio Brown and the NFL and courts and everything else. Any of those issues, if they go the wrong way, could get him suspended. And I think that's why teams have been hesitant to bring in Antonio Brown to begin with. Now, the other thing is, don't forget, he also, that's the off the field issues. But then there's the whole frostbite on the feet. There's the helmet issues. This dude just comes with way too much baggage for me. But is it worth it? I tell you what, there are a lot of people that say that Antonio Brown makes the Texans Super Bowl contenders if you add him to this team. I'm not going to go that far. They still need help in the secondary. And listen, if you had DeAndre Hopkins, now, granted, if you have Antonio Brown and Randall Cobb and Brandon Brooks and or Cooks, excuse me, and maybe one of Kenny Stills or why can't I think of his damn name that gets hurt all the time? Will Fuller. Okay, you're gonna have to get rid of one of those, I'm sure, recoup a draft pick or whatever. That's a pretty good receiving core. Does that make them Super Bowl contenders? I don't think so. I think the Chiefs are still loaded. I think the Ravens are still going to do some work in the AFC. I think it gives them a much better chance of making the playoffs and winning the division, though. Absolutely it does. He definitely makes his team better because there's a big hole to fill with DeAndre Hopkins being gone. Still need help on the defense, though. And I think, hey, if you could trade Kenny Stills or Will Fuller and get some help in the secondary, cool. That would be good. Yeah, he is a clown. That's the thing. And Luis says, I like it. Bring him on board. Listen, it's going to split. That's the other concern is, the term poisoning the well I saw in one of the articles online was really accurate. Do you think he's going to be a disruption in that locker room? D-Hop was loved. Everybody loved Nuke, right? But I don't know. Is the risk, is the reward worth the risk? And if it's Antonio Brown, I think the answer is yes. I mean, look at the Raiders. They ended up losing a pick, though, but it was a 3rd-round pick. I would take that chance because he's a free agent. You don't have to. I did see a tweet where they said Bill O'Brien's trying to trade a 1st and 2nd-round pick in 2022 for free agent Antonio Brown, which was fucking hilarious. I say do it, though. What do you have to lose? You're not going to win a Super Bowl this year anyways. If you think that gets you closer, if you could replace Nuke at the same time, do it. Spend the money. I mean, I wouldn't have got rid of Nuke, but, you know, yeah, you're getting a much bigger headache if you thought DeAndre Hopkins was a headache. You're getting a much bigger one now. All right. Virginia Buttonweed asked me to talk about this a little bit because this popped up on ESPN and some other places, but apparently the NFL has decided that they're going to play Lift Every Voice and Sing, which is traditionally known as the Black National Anthem. It's expected to be performed live or played before every Week 1 NFL game, and the league is considering a variety of other measures during the upcoming season to recognize victims of police brutality. That's from a source familiar with the league's discussions that was told the Undefeated this. I believe it was Richard Reed. I forget the dude's name. So Virginia Buttonweed had asked me to comment about this. And he's like, what are your thoughts on them playing this song in the Black National Anthem, and what does that mean? Number one, I think there are going to be people that say, oh, they're trying to replace the national anthem. No, they're not. They're absolutely not trying to do that. They're trying to make amends with the African-American community as an organization. They're trying to say, hey, look, we fucked this up and we're trying to do right. They're trying to be leaders, I guess, if you believe that, in the fight for racial equality. They're also trying to be a little more progressive, and there's nothing wrong with that. I do think, though, in a way, if you start to say that there's a black national anthem and we're going to play a black national anthem and then the national anthem, it goes a long way in separating us more than it does uniting us. I don't have a problem with playing the song. That's not it. But I think if you start to compartmentalize what it means and say that this is a black national anthem, I think that can be counterproductive. Play the song. 100%. I'm behind that. I think it'd be great. But I think there will be people that'll tell you, and I've seen people already tweeting about it, that are saying, listen, play the song, but let's not label it the black national anthem because it can divide us more than it can unite us. You're trying to reach across the aisle is what you're trying to do. You're trying to get people that don't think that there's anything wrong in this country to move forward and say, all right, we recognize there's an issue, let's solve it. And you don't, and this is what I was telling Billy, sometimes you don't want to alienate the people you're trying to reach. We want to make progress in this country. We want social justice. We want police brutality reform. We want to make things better. But we don't want to start to isolate groups for the sake of another group. That's not how you go about doing it. And I'm not suggesting that playing the black national anthem does that. I'm suggesting that if you call it that and suggest that now there's two national anthems, one is the national anthem, one is the black national anthem, it could do more harm than good. And that's just one man's opinion. And I'm sure that's going to be unpopular with some folks. And I welcome the discussion. But I'm just saying, I want to play the song. I think it's right to play the song. I think you should play the song. But I think you got to be careful. Let's not isolate and alienate. Let's bring everybody together. Let's do that. Let's see what the chat says, because I know that's a hot button topic. Oh, let me get to this super chat. Danny Ariano, thank you, homie. That was very nice of you. No, I said it. Damn it, I already said it. 2 shots for me not making it to the top 3 lawn choice. Danny, you were the one I was talking about, bro. I won't take a shot, but I'll take a sip. But let me holler at you, homeboy. Come here, look. Let me holler at you. Just you and me. You didn't take your yard, immaculate. You probably would have won this thing. But you didn't take the picture of you in the yard. That was the rule. That was the one rule. I said, just send me a picture of you in your yard. You just sent me the yard. Next month, though, I think you got it on lock, man. Just got to be in the picture. But I appreciate the super chat, man. I appreciate you participating. Your yard is amazing, dog. I really think you would have won, but you didn't follow the rules. Let's see what other people are saying. TJ McLaughlin, NFL can play whatever it wants before games. It's the right as an entertainment business. Totally agree. Charles Garza, my boomer Facebook is pissed. Of course they are. Of course there's going to be a segment of the population that's up in arms about getting that played. Of course they are. Sandoval, oh yeah, sounds like 40% hit that mark. What up? What up, you? What up, man? Let's see. Luis Zalea, separate but equal. Yeah, because that's the direction we need to take. That was kind of what I thought too, man. Is it's like separate but equal national anthems. That's the slippery slope. That's the problem. I think everybody knows where I fall on this issue. Everybody knows where I stand. It's no question. I don't think there's any doubt that I'm a big proponent of reform in this country.
Yeah.
But I think that you can't just at every turn isolate people in this country as well. My opinion. Brandon Gary, easy Barry. One of those sensitive folks may report you again for speaking the truth. Yeah, no shit, right? Hey, you know what? Fuck it. At this point, if they report me, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to come back and do the end of the show, but if it happens too much, I'll just play Call of Duty. Fuck it, man. Cowboy Chap, 100% agree. It's all dividing us. That's my opinion. TJ, agree, Barry. You don't unite by dividing things into categories. Amen to that. That's a great way to put it. We're all Americans and need to respect that with each other. Virginia Bunweed, maybe play it at halftime. No, I'm okay with playing it. Listen, that's not it. I'm okay with, we play God Bless America. We play, what is that? At the 7th inning stretch, they play God Bless America and the stars at night are big and bright. If we can do that shit, surely we can play, what was the name of the song again? Lift Every Voice and Sing. That's what it was. Surely we can play that to start. I have no problem with that. No problem with that. I don't. I think labeling it the way that they've labeled it is going to be a problem. Just telling you now. Brian Lamb. Hello, Lady Deckheads and Barry. All right. Chris Davis. Or could they stop the national anthem? What happens after they play that song for 1 week? That's interesting too, man. That's very interesting. Amos Johnson with the super chat, homie. Thank you so much, man. He said, "Lift Every Voice and Sing is way better song than the actual national anthem if we go by the lyrics." I'm just saying. I mean, the meaning behind it it's powerful. It's impactful. That's why I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with playing it. I just think if you're trying to make inroads into a group of people that are resistant to change, if you have it, you don't want to isolate it, especially in this country as divided and as polarized as we are in everything we do. In everything we do. As a white guy, I'm telling you how white dudes think. They see that and go, oh, fuck that. Black national anthem. How come there's not a white national anthem? Guarantee you. All right, let's see. I did see another super chat pop up. Drew, what's up, homie? Thank you for the super chat, my man. He said, "Sip, turn the stream off before you tell Oliver you're faded." Wouldn't that be some shit if I did? I swear to you, that's my biggest fear is that I forget to turn this off, and then I'm like jerking off or fucking get high or something on. Oh my god, that's a huge fear of mine. What's up, Brandon?
Yeah.
Welcome, buddy. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're watching and playing? You sons of bitches. Y'all are playing without me? God damn it. As soon as this show's over, I'm hopping on. Y'all need me, by the way, Chris. I don't know if you know this, but yesterday, I was the fucking man in Warzone, okay? Just so you know. All right, last thing we got to talk about in the NFL before we move on. The Redskins. The Washington Redskins are, you're on the clock, Daniel Snyder. FedEx, which holds the naming rights to the Redskins Stadium, has joined several other major sponsors in asking the team to change its name, which campaign group Change the Mascot calls a racial slur. The team released a statement saying that they would review the name after all. This is after Daniel Snyder has been adamant that he is not going to change the name. Here's some of the sponsors that stepped up and said, yo, you've got to do something different. FedEx, Nike, Pepsi, even the federal government, because Daniel Snyder was wanting to move into RFK Stadium, which is on federal property, but they're saying, nope. If you want to move into RFK Stadium, the name has got to be changed. So there were a lot of people that were talking about, well, what should they change the name to if they're going to change the name? There were tons of suggestions. The one I liked the most was the Red Tails. It's a hat tip to the Tuskegee Airmen. They were the ones, the African-American fighter pilots that flew. And when they World War II, they painted the tails of their planes red to identify themselves as who they were, the Tuskegee Airmen. And they were labeled the Red Tails. And so I think that kind of moves you. People were saying, look, you can still use the old Hail to the Redskins song, but you could change it to Red Tails. That works. The R still works. You could keep that cursive R that they're so proud of. Other names were the Senators, the Hogs, as a hat tip to their old offensive line. The Generals, the Braves, that's probably not going to happen. And the Warriors, people are pissed off about the Warriors because they're saying, oh, well, if you do the Warriors, then you could still keep the arrow and the feathers and all that. And there are a lot of Native Americans that are saying, listen, we're not mascots. Using feathers and arrows and shit, that's still disrespectful to our culture. And this is what they're saying. And you can agree or disagree, but that's what the people that are being offended by this are telling you. So I don't think the Warriors is going to happen because I don't think that they're going to want them to keep that that ode to Native Americans, even though it's disrespectful as shit. And the reason I also like the Red Tails, this actually won a design contest a few years ago. That's a badass logo. I dig that. Like, I think that's badass. And yeah, Mike, I think the Hogs are great too. Ain't nothing wrong with the Hogs. The Washington Hogs, and then, just your cheerleaders don't have to be thin. No, Charles, the cool arrows, the cooleros, that's not, oh boy, that's not going to happen. Luis Zelaya, he said, real question. Why is the Washington name considered a slur, but not KC or the Atlanta MLB team? I think they are. They are. I mean, you saw the Cleveland Indians and their mascot gone because that was this Chief Wahoo. The only thing I would say is, I don't know, because I'm not Native American. I can't speak for Native American people and tell you what is offensive and what is not. Something that's offensive, like if you're not offended by something or you're not the target of something that could be offensive, you can't really speak on it. This is not my right to say, well, the Kansas City Chiefs, that shouldn't be offensive, or the Atlanta Braves shouldn't be offensive, but Washington Redskins, I mean, the Redskins, some people have said, is the equivalent of the N-word. And if that's the case, then absolutely, could you imagine a football team with that name or anything near it? You think about all of the different terms that African-American people have been labeled with, that racist terms over the years, as they tried to soften it, the different variations of the N-word. Even when they would say, oh, well, they're the C word. I don't even want to say it. I feel awful just saying it. But yeah, that wouldn't be okay. So I think it's even like that. It's not like you're calling them, I don't know. I think if people are telling you it's offensive, you have to consider that. That's all I'm saying. And I think personally, if they're going to do it, they should name it after Daniel Snyder and call them the Washington Idiots. That was the one thing that I didn't see pop up anywhere. Why not just name the team after him? I think the Washington Idiots would be, and then, hey, look, that would also, like somebody pointed out to me on Twitter, that would also pretty much cover all of Washington, D.C. The idiots, all the politicians could fall under that. That'd be pretty appropriate, I think. What else do we say here? What's in the chat? Good afternoon, Keith. What's up, buddy? Yeah, no, you didn't miss Long Talk, though. Long Talk is next. I hope you're excited, but you didn't miss Long Talk. Where else we got? Hog is offensive to large women. Okay. I shouldn't have put that on the screen. Why are my eyes... Man, you guys... Every day, it's either my nose or my eyes. I think it's allergies. I don't know. What else we got here? Doesn't Snyder make crackers? Washington crackers. No. As I've discussed with several African-American friends of mine, that's the thing. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, Jaime. Am I still a Chiefs fan? Ugh. Nah, I think I'll go back to being the Texans. Look, there's no racial slur that I think is overly offensive to white people, because white people haven't been in the position like that. Like it's like it's a lot different. If someone were to call me a cracker or that's not offensive. It doesn't hurt me. Because of the nature and the history of what's going on in this country. It's just a fact. I mean, some words are offensive and some they're not. And it has everything to do with the meaning behind them and the reasons. Oh boy, Luis, that's uncharted territory. That's offensive because of the implications of the N-word. Did I ever finish doing the mulch? Wow. That's a really good question. And that'll be our transition into Lawn Talk, Demetrius. And the answer to have I finished doing the mulch is...
And now it's time for a film session.
Oh, we're going early. But before we get to the film session, I do want to tell you about Crab King Seafood. If you want delicious seafood, if you want some of the best seafood in the city of Houston, get over to Crab King Seafood. 3 locations to serve you there in Houston off of Antoine Drive at 6600 Antoine. They've got one in Stafford at 109 Avenue F. And in Deer Park at 3717 Center Street. So 3 locations to get some of the absolute best seafood in the city of Houston. I love the place. You're going to love the place. I had actually forgot that I ate there. The wife was like, remember we went, you had the fried fish and the shrimp combo. You wouldn't shut up about it. I was like, damn, I totally forgot about that. It's legitimately good. You're going to love it. Snow crab and shrimp platters with sides of potatoes, sausage, and eggs. They've got boudin balls if you're into that. They've got a ton of beers that are on the way. Florida-style seafood. Whatever it is in seafood, if you're looking for it, they've got it at Crab King's. They've got a loaded platter. So if you got a family, you got kids you need to feed, it's enough for 3 or 4 people if you get that loaded platter. Check that out as well. And don't forget, crawfish available as long as it's in season. Go check them out online. It's KingSTN.com is the website, or Crab Kings on Facebook and Instagram. Go do it right now. And by the way, I do want to say shout out to the folks over at Beer Chronicle. Man, they have been so great in sponsoring the show. And BeerChronicle.com, they are the authority on Houston beer. If you're into beer, but you're not into the Houston beer culture and Houston beer scene yet, highly advise you go to BeerChronicle.com, the largest online collection of original content. They are dedicated to the Houston beer culture. They've got hundreds of articles, comprehensive brewery maps, lists, and the team is diverse. Mostly Houstonians make up the team. Veteran-owned, culturally diverse. BeerChronicle.com, paving the way to enabling category growth in the city of Houston. It's the biggest, loudest, okayest, most Houstonist beer site on the interwebs. This is BeerChronicle.com. And as always, thank you to our sponsors that support this show and keep it going. Okay, that was the film session. I'm doing that first. I'm going to make you guys wait for Lawn Talk, Demetrius. By the way, the answer is no. I haven't done the mulch yet, okay? I haven't done the mulch yet. Don't judge me. What's up, Andy Huggins? How are you, buddy? Oh, damn, Donna, you're leaving? Are you leaving, Donna? Don't leave. Donna, don't leave. I get you, Keith. Keith says he's at work with the boss. Can't chat much. Shh. I got you, homie. No worries. Whatever happened with Amazon? Oh, that's a good question, Jeremy. Nothing yet. I'm going to run the sprinklers one more time, and if there's no issues, then I'm just going to go ahead and get that gift card, but I'm going to negotiate. Is Nora doing good, Barry? Yes. No COVID. It was just a severe sinus infection. So that's good news. What's up, Andy Huggins? Where is it? Crab King's available on Grubhub. Yo, that's what's up. Oh, shut up, Chris Davis. We're doing film session right now. All right, here's your film session for the day, and then we're going to do some lawn talk, all right? This one is a little long, but it's pretty wild, okay? It's basically, it looks like a couple of crackheads fighting. Where's the audio at? Damn it. Did I, well, I guess there's no audio. How did it not get the audio? This sucks. Okay, so I'll just give you the play-by-play. Now, they were arguing, and the big guy pushes the little guy. All right? There's arguing over something. I don't know what it was. Now, there's a lot of talk here. I'm going to fast forward, okay? Because at some point, the little guy realizes, yeah, shut up. At some point, the little guy realizes that, man, I don't think this guy really wants to fight me. So when you see the hat come off, that's the sign that that this guy thinks he can beat the big guy. That's what happens. When the hat comes off, it's like, I think I can take this guy because he doesn't look like he wants to fight me. All right? So now there's a lot of talk going on. The little guy can't keep his pants up. That's a problem for sure. Okay? Now he does the old hands behind the back, pulls his pants up. He's like, now he's kind of like, you know, when you do the one-handed crotch grab and point, that's, you know, that's whatever. Now, right here, the little guy goes in for a punch. Now watch this though. The one-handed crotch grab and point means I'm about to try to fuck some shit up. So watch this punch here. This isn't a good punch. Oh, yeah, you don't have the reach, little guy. I don't know how to tell you this, but if you're trying to punch somebody with a reach, it's probably not going to happen if you're slow as shit like this. If you're slow, yeah, I'd take the pants off too. That's not going to happen. So listen, at this point, it's bad, okay? If you fell down over that, this right here knocked you down, maybe don't finish this fight, all right? Maybe at this point, you call it and say, well, he's a lot bigger than me. But oh no! Our short friend here decides he wants some more of it, and he walks up to the big guy. Now, there's going to be a point here where it gets real. So I wish you could hear the shit talking, because he's like, bro, I just pushed you down with one hand, is what he told him. It's not AJ versus Wilt Chamberlain. So there's the hand out. Now, watch closely, watch closely, watch closely. Oh, what? Yo! So the short guy spits on old boy. Right here, look. He did. Somebody called 911. He did. Look at this. Now, bop! Okay. Now he's trying to get his hands on him. And the little guy, his pants are a hindrance. Okay. He can't get away because his pants are sagging too much. So he tries to get away after the spit. And watch this. He's unable to move. And then the big guy gets a hold of him. And night time. Now, this is a really good rear naked choke. I just want to point out, he's got this shit locked in. Watch this. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's not good. Oh, no. He's going to pull. Uh-oh. Did you notice the arm? Did you notice the arm go limp? Watch the arm right here. Right there. He's out. That's night time. And then the pants fall. And then he's just limp. Look at him. It looks like he's holding a piece of rope. And then he tosses him like he ain't shit. This is what that is not a rear naked choke. That is a guillotine. That's night time. That wasn't even close. Listen, if you're that little and you're trying to fight somebody that big, my advice to you is don't get that close to somebody that much bigger than you. Okay? Don't get that close. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. You're not afforded the opportunity to let them get their hands on you like this. Now look, now he even mush-faced him on the way in. He just mush-faced him. He put his hand on his face, spit. I've had enough of this shit. Mush face right there and lock in the guillotine. Here's where this is gross right here. When you lift someone off the ground with a guillotine, do you know the amount of force that's on their neck? That's not good. Did he? No, shut up, Jorge. Shut up. He did not die. Did he really? Wow. That means that dude's going to jail for murder. Bro, that's nasty. One-handed basketball that head. Yeah, that's exactly right, too. Don't spit on people. Don't talk shit. Don't spit on people. Yeah. He's not dead. Boy, I tell you what, there's a lot to learn when it comes to fighting. Okay? There's a lot to learn when it comes to defending yourself. Know how to pick your battles, people. I wish there would have been the sound. And what I really should have done is put the call. Somebody called 911. He did. If I was thinking ahead, I would have done that. But I didn't. I had... Shut up, Virginia Buttonweed. I hate you guys. All right, let's get to some lawn talk. It's time, peoples. It's time. Keith, now's your time. Who's the chick camera dude should have called her? Where? There was a chick in there? What? There was a chick. Where's the chick? I didn't see no chick. Where's the chick? Where is it? Okay. Damn, P. Jones. Look, P. Jones is all over it. He's like, who's that? Whoa, go in there. As we watch this dude go limp and his pants fall off. We're more concerned about, who was little mama? Who was little mama crossing the frame? All right. Your law talk for the day. So the Lou Dog on the Discord server had a question. The Lou Dog wanted to know, he said, I've got the worst case of Virginia buttonweed in my backyard and I don't know how to get rid of it. Should I just do a complete haul over? I don't know, like overhaul, I think he meant. But he's like, should I just wipe everything? Yeah, not you, Virginia buttonweed. The actual Virginia buttonweed. But the Lou Dog said, it's getting bad, Barry. I don't know what to do. I would even send you a picture, but I'm embarrassed about it. Well, Lou Dog, here's what you do. First of all, I know you don't want to hear this, but every expert in the world will tell you that you have got to pull as much as possible.
Yeah.
If you have Virginia buttonweed, you need to pull as much as you can first. Keith Sager, yeah, it's that time, homie. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Look, you can't see me here. Shit, you can't see me. I was going to cheers you. But look, where is it? Cheers to you, buddy. It's lawn talk, baby. Now, first things first, pull as much of the Virginia buttonweed as you can. Pull it out, okay? Then you need to get some Celsius. Now, I know you don't want to hear this. That shit is expensive. It's very expensive, but it has been proven to work better on Virginia buttonweed than just about anything else on the market. And right now, as hot as it is, it's safe to use in the middle of the summer on St. Augustine grass. So if you have St. Augustine, which most people do, pull as much as you can. And I know that's tedious, but that's part of this. Just get out there and start pulling it and bagging it, I have this shit in my yard. I have to do the same thing. Get you some Celsius. And then in the fall, say at the end of October, beginning of November, use some Weed Beater Ultra in the fall and then use it again in the spring. And if you do that, it may take a couple of years. Because it's nasty shit. But that's the best way to get rid of Virginia buttonweed. Now we need to talk about preventing it. Make sure you use a pre-emergent herbicide that's labeled to prevent Virginia buttonweed. Because as you start to control it, as you start to get rid of it, you don't just want it reoccurring. So you have to do pre and post-emergent herbicides, all right? So you've got to kill what you've got, and then you've got to prevent new ones from coming. Because that's just killing what you have isn't enough. Kill, prevent. So pull, get you some Celsius. It's like, bro, I'm telling you, that bottle I showed you, that bottle right there, which is what I have, it's like $130. Still cheaper than several pallets of grass and all the labor it would take to replace all the grass. Just my opinion. I bought a bottle of Celsius. When I run out, I'm going to buy another one. It's amazing. It works on everything stubborn that you can't get rid of. So that's my advice, Lou Dog. Get you some Celsius, pull as much as you can, and when it gets cooler, use Weed Beater Ultra. What did I miss? What do you guys? Truck driver Pookie, what does Virginia buttonweed look like? The lawn, not the person. That's a good question. Let me get you some Virginia buttonweed pictures. I should have done that. That's a really good question, truck driver Pookie. Virginia buttonweed. It's got white flowers on it. That's how you kind of know what it looks like, right? Is you'll see these little white flowers that pop up all over the Virginia buttonweed. That's not it at all. There we go. Virginia buttonweed. There we go. That's a good picture of it. All right. Open image in new tab. Drag that out. Okay. Where did it go? What the hell? My light's in the way. All right. This is what Virginia buttonweed looks like. So you're going to notice a couple things. You see those little white flowers? They've got 4 little white petals on them. And then you see it kind of looks like an herb almost, right? But that's what Virginia buttonweed looks like. And so it's almost like a vine in a way as it spreads throughout the yard. So if you see those little white flowers, if you're like, oh, what is this stuff? It's got little white flowers on it.
Yeah.
It's probably Virginia buttonweed. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't get a hold of that shit, it's going to get everywhere. And it's fucking hard to get rid of. Dr. Runberg said, Sedgehammer for nut sedge.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I use Sedgehammer. That shit works. I use Sedgehammer if you have nut sedge in your yard, and you'll know because, look, it's got those... I hate to say this. See, you guys are going to be childish. But it also, there's like purple nut sedge and yellow nut sedge. But it's got these little prickly balls on them. Grow up, guys. Okay? There's different kinds of nut sedge. Let me see. Here's one. Open image in new tab. This is one form of nut sedge. It's where it just looks like, I don't know, it kind of looks like like a green chive almost. But then there's this one. Hold on, let me pull this up too. This one's the bad one. The purple nut sedge, that's the bitch that's so hard to get rid of. Where is it at? Damn it. There we go. Purple nut sedge. Let me find a picture here. Nope, that's not it. Well, I can't find it. But yeah, Google nut sedge, purple and yellow. And I highly recommend that you use Sedgehammer, like Dr. Runberg said. I use it on the nut sedge that I have, and it works fantastically. Gregory Vega Jr. Sup, Barry? Both Gregs up in this bitch. Drink up. Cheers to you guys. Papa Vega. Or no, I guess it would be Gregory Vega Sr. Who's smart? This guy. That was for you. That was a big drink. I can't do shots. I'll be all fucked up for Dick Byrne when he gets here. Okay. What is this? What am I looking at? Ain't the only thing with prickly balls. Okay. Truck driver Pookie. No, you do not have blue nut sedge, Virginia. That's not. You guys, don't ruin lawn talk, okay? One other thing I wanted to get to before we get to a break. We plowed through, by the way. We absolutely plowed through everything I wanted to get to. I'm so impressed with everything we got through today. Man, you guys actually kind of kept it in line. By the way, did you guys notice that I'm wearing a t-shirt under a t-shirt? Did anyone else notice that? Do you know why? Because Daddy's nipples would poke through, and I am so sick of your shit. I had to hear about pink shirts and orange shirts, and I was like, there's no way I'm going on camera with my nipples poking out hard as a rock and listening to these sons of bitches in the chat make fun of my nipples for 2 hours. Not going to happen. So yes, I wore a second t-shirt under a t-shirt, which I think is a stupid thing to do, but I had to do it because I didn't want to hear your shit. All right, where was the lawn talk? Here we go. This is good times right here. My favorite word.
Oh, yeah.
All right, it's not my favorite word. But, guys, this is what happens in this country. If you use a word long enough, they just put it in the fucking dictionary. They have basically made the word irregardless. If you look in the dictionary, by the way, the source for this was not ESPN. I should have taken that off the slide. In the dictionary now, I think it's Webster's Dictionary online. If you search irregardless, they actually show it as part of the dictionary. And irregardless means regardless. This is where we're at now. This is what we're doing. They're taking made up words and like, these fucking idiots aren't getting it. These dumb shits keep using this word. It's easier to just add it to the dictionary than to try to get these dumbasses to stop using this word. That's what's happening. Like Liddy. Liddy should be in the dictionary. That's a real word. If Liddy doesn't make the dictionary, I'm going to be pissed. Oh, because Discord gets Liddy. Why can't, if irregardless can be in the dictionary, 100% Liddy needs to be in the dictionary. Santos, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Wow, that's very generous of you, my friend. He said, damn, I got tied up with yard work and lost track of time, but I have arrived. What's up, dickheads? What's up, Santos? Appreciate you being here. Hope the yard looks good. Send us a picture. Enter yard of the month, bro. What are you doing? You working on the yard? I'm doing yard work tomorrow. That's when I'm doing my yard work. Let's see. What do we... Oh, I feel like I missed something good in the chat. Nope, didn't. Bedtime stories were on point. Don't know what that means? Not even sure what that means. Oh, if you get out tomorrow, just do me one favor. Just one favor. That's all I'm asking. If you get out tomorrow, please wear a mask. I want to get out of the fucking house. All right. I don't even give a shit if you believe in masks or you don't believe in masks. If you're sick of lockdown, just put the fucking mask on so we can all get out of this house. I am so sick of sitting in this house. Okay. Oh, Jen says you don't want to know. What are you doing tomorrow, Jen? I got to know. Fireworks. All right. Who's a fireworks fan? I gotta say, I don't think I've ever, since I turned 15, maybe 18, I don't think I've ever bought fireworks as an adult. Oh, that is right, Jaime. They said it's mandatory now. So yeah, wear your fucking mask. Let's talk fireworks for a second. This is it. How much do you spend, Virginia Buttonweed, on fireworks? I'm curious because, a lot of people are going to say, man, it's like, it's all America. I mean, you go out and you buy these fireworks and you blow them up. And that's how you let people know you're free. And you go down to, it's capitalism, man. You go down to a trailer and you buy these explosive devices and you pay way more than you should for them. Just like an iPhone. By the way, all this shit is made in China. So American. It's very American. These black cats and these cherry bombs and these smoke bombs and these zip zops. I don't know what all the fucking firework names are. I've literally tapped out my firework knowledge. I don't understand. All I know is they piss me off. Every 4th of July and every New Year's, I got to sit in my house in a neighborhood where they have literally, in the deed restrictions, it says you're not allowed to pop fireworks. And I have to listen to these dumb sons of bitches that can't read pop fucking fireworks for a week. Not 4th of July. Not just Saturday. It's going to be tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday night, Monday night. These little sons of bitches, these little kids that still have fireworks left over, going to pop them motherfuckers into next week. Virginia Buttonweed, I like you as a person, but fuck your fireworks, man. It's stupid. All right, I'm going to tell you right now, I am team fireworks are fucking stupid. If you don't like that, well, then put a black cat up your butthole. I don't care. Oh, I missed Robert's super chat, Chris Reyes. Thank you. Where was Robert's super chat? Oh, fuck. Oh, Robert likes beer. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. He said 8 p.m. bedtime stories on Discord was a big hit last night. Oh, was this okay? Was this you posting like it was sexual?
Oh, yeah.
I believe it was sexual. I'm 90% sure it was sexual. And it was pretty good. Now I know what you're talking about, Robert. You guys have got to clean it up on the Discord server, by the way. You're getting out of hand. I need a moderator. I think I know who I'm going to make the moderator. He has offered to do it. He's a good person. I trust him. Not you, Chris Reyes. Don't trust you or Robert likes beer. Can't trust you. And I certainly, I can't trust Charles either. He posts the most fucking disgusting pictures ever on the Discord. It's gross. I can't make you guys moderators. But I do have one guy, and if you give him any shit, take it out. But thank you for the super chat as well, Chris Reyes. I'm sorry I missed Robert's super chat. Thank you guys for keeping me alive. Oh, what's up? I didn't even see Titan Hugo in there. G-Man, you spent $500 to $1,000 on fireworks? Why? Why would you spend rent on or a car note on fireworks? It's gone. At least if you invested that money on a hooker, the return is pretty nice. We'll just delete what I just said from the show so my wife don't see it. $500 to $1,000, bro. That's a lot of goddamn money on fireworks. Who else? Hugh, you spend $700. Holy shit, you guys are fucking insane. Sandoval said, I've spent last year right at about $1,000, but then I'm gonna have my grandkids. Okay. The kids, the grandkids, you know, if they're under the age of 14, I get it. Fuck though, $1,000? You guys are fucking insane. Oh, I missed a lawn talk. How can I get my grass to stop growing so fast? Shit needs to be mowed every 4 days. No, that's good. You should mow it every 4 days. And don't water it and don't fertilize it and it won't grow as much. Oh, are you sure you don't have weeds, by the way? That might be, you might be mowing weeds. Just make sure this is the actual grass. But you trust me, it's better to mow every 4 days than to have fucking weeds and dead spots and all that shit. I don't want to know. You guys, man. Walt, thank you, Walt. The voice of reason in the chat. You are literally setting money on fire. Chris Householder, I spend $60. Do you? Hey, Nick Sharara's in the building. My man. What's up, dude? I almost missed it. I'm glad I looked over here. I'm going to G-Man's house. No shit, dude. That's fucking ridiculous. Look at Donna. Thank you for the super chat, sweetie. Look at Nicholas in the chat. He's off today. You know, these cats with these jobs, ugh. They get days off, ugh. The rest of us out here grinding, having to do shit on a holiday. Truck driver Spooky, I spend about $350 to $500 depending on what the kids want. The big ones, I give myself a $150 limit. I swear to God, if I spent more than $50 on fireworks, my wife would lose her shit. $50. I don't even know how much fireworks fucking cost. But if I came back with like, babe, look, I got $70 worth of fireworks. She'd be like, get the fuck out of my house. Right now. Get out of my house. I just don't, maybe it's because I don't have kids. Do any of you that don't have kids pop fireworks? That's another question I have for you. Nope, that's not his name. Truck driver Pookie. It's not Nick Shamalama Ding Dong. Kids' reactions to fireworks are great. Okay. I get that. Robert likes beer. I spent $400 on meat. That's what I'm talking about. Now you're speaking my language, Robert. $400 on meat? That's a hell of a deal. Hey, speaking of hell of a good deal, NFL Draft Lounge, it's free. That's a great deal, right? NFLDraftLounge.com is your source for everything NFL Draft related. The website features scouting reports, mock drafts, news analysis, and so much more. The entire website is part of the Infinity Sports Network, which provides NFL Draft content for their sports blog network. NFL Draft Lounge has a podcast. If you haven't checked it out yet, go check it out right now. Brian Lamb, you may know him as Stalker Brian. He's the one desperately trying to get a woman via the chat and this show. He owns NFL Draft Lounge, and guys, he does a fantastic job. They've got draft coverage from 2021 already up on the site. They reviewed the last draft. If you're looking for NFL draft coverage, look no further than NFLDraftLounge.com. Go give them a visit. Go support them. And congrats to Brian Lamb on having his best month ever in the month of June. I mean, I don't want to take all the credit for it. Nah, man. Listen, it's a great website. Go check it out right now. And while you're online, if you need screen printing work, give my guy Gustavo a call at Gooseworks Screen Printing Studio. He does high volume printing. So maybe you've got like a team that you need to get t-shirts for, or you want to get masks for your whole company or a group, or you got your staff that you're trying to get shirts for, whatever it is in screen printing. If you've got high volume printing needs, call Gustavo over at Gooseworks Screen Printing Studio. He's going to take care of you. Go check it out, gooseworksart.com. You can see what he does, and you can also purchase his really cool shirts that he's created. He's got the Enron shirt for Houston. He's got the Nintendo 64 H There's some great. You guys have seen me wear those. They're badass, and a ton more. I'm about to go get that Lone Star shirt. By the way, it's super cool. But go check them out. GooseWorksArt.com is the website. 281-685-4076. Guys, if you need screen printing, why not use the guy that printed the Barry on Deck OG t-shirts? Why not use the same company that Bun B goes to for his t-shirt printing needs? National Oil Well Varco, yeah, they use Gooseworks as well. You can trust them. It's quality work, and he's a deckhead. Go support Gooseworks, man. Hey, Alex Villanueva, thank you for the super chat, buddy. That's badass. He said, this is for being late. Oh, shame on you. I was wondering why the numbers were so low the first 55 minutes. Get your ass over here. No, but I appreciate it, homie. He said the 13-year-old son was training outdoors. What kind of training? What was he doing? Excuse me. Boy, that's too much drinking. Too much drinking on a Friday. Chris Householder rocking my H64 shirt from Goose. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. I would wear my shit every week. Yeah. Chris Reyes, they do have a Lone Star shirt. It's badass. Thank you, Robert Likes Beer. Okay, guys, we got to get to break. We got to bring in Dick Burm. Richard Burmaster is going to join me. Listen, Richard is a friend of mine. I've known him for a decade. We started the Cage Door together. All I can tell you is this is one of the funniest human beings that I know that isn't a comedian. He's just he's just hilarious. And he's owned 1,000 different businesses, and he's into MMA and all kinds of shit. We're just gonna hang out and have a good time. This is going to be a blast. Stick around for this. We're gonna take a 5-minute break. We're late. We're gonna be back for hour number 2 of Barry on Deck. Do not go anywhere. We return in 5 minutes. Hang tight. Welcome back to the show and another edition of Barry on Sports. With the U of H men's basketball team, the talk of the town, I wanted to get out to the campus and speak with fans heading into a game to find out, were they real fans or were they just bandwagon fans? Take a look. All right, Justin, I'm going to ask you some questions about U of H basketball. Do you know anything about like the school itself too?
A little bit.
How long have you been here at the school?
I don't actually go here, but I mean, I've lived here 16 years.
You lived in Houston 16 years. And now, have you always been a fan of U of H basketball?
I mean, I follow them just because hometown, you know. But
So you're not a bandwagon fan. You know about the history of the school. How long do you think you've been a fan for?
probably 5-6 years.
5-6 years? Do you know the history though?
Well, I know a little bit about 5 Slam and Jamma.
Okay, can you name somebody on 5 Slam and Jamma?
Can't. Oh man.
Why'd you bring it up?
I mean, I know about him, but I don't know like specifically.
Was Hakeem Olajuwon?
Yeah, I think he was on there.
You think he was actually on 4 Slam and Jamma?
For real?
Yes. You know this stuff, man. In what year did the team last make the NCAA tournament?
In the 60s.
What year?
64?
That's right! Oh, man. Dude, you are so good at this.
1995.
That is correct. See, don't doubt yourself. You've got this.
1980, I think.
That is correct. 1980. That is correct. Good job.
94?
94 is correct. Yeah, he's pretty good at this, guys. In what year did the team last make the NCAA tournament?
Last year.
Man, you're good. What was Hakeem's name before he changed it to Hakeem? Was it Ricky, Benny, Greg, or Clyde?
Benny.
That is correct. Wow, you're really good at this.
Clyde.
That's right. Clyde Olajuwon was his name before he changed it.
Oh gosh, Akeem Olajuwon before it was Akeem. I don't know.
Ricky, Benny, Greg, or Clyde?
Let's go with Benny.
That is correct. Benny Olajuwon. Okay.
None of the above.
No?
Yeah, no, I don't think it was any of those.
What was it?
Was it not Akeem?
Okay. That was a good one. You got that look. Why are you high-fiving? He answered it. Do you know the U of H Cougar hand gesture?
Of course.
Okay, you have to do it.
Gang gang.
All right. You didn't make the sound though.
The sound?
You didn't know there was a sound?
I did not know there was a
Yeah,
sound.
he even said it. Like, it's in the handbook. If you read the handbook, it says when you do it, technically you're supposed to make the sound. So can you do that for us?
What was it again? Oh, it's like.
Yeah, that was it.
Cougar sound like roar.
That was a terrible roar. You again, the camera.
Roar.
You didn't do the hand gesture.
Roar.
That's it, dude. Nailed it. Hey, man, good job. I mean, it was okay.
Grr.
Yeah, that's it. It's a very faint grr.
I can't do it.
You don't know how a cougar sounds?
Well, ow.
There you go, but you got to do the hand too.
Yes. Ow.
That's it. All right, hey, thank you so much. You did great. Thank you. All right. Number 2 of the show. This is Barry on Deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminack, and joining me now is a guy. Let me put him on screen here. This guy, wow, that's not how that was supposed to go. Oh God!
Oh man, your head was way too big for a minute. I couldn't deal with that.
Wait, look how big yours is, guys. This is Richard Burmaster, and he's an awful person. And this,
I am.
He is. Look, I was like, I just want to have fun on a Friday before 4th of July. Who can I get that really hasn't done anything with their life, but they're fun?
Right. So, and you had no better option. Everyone else canceled. You were like, you know what? You know who's got nothing going on in their life? Burmaster. That who has nothing going on.
Really, it's just that everybody with something canceled. So.
Yeah, I got you.
What was that?
I got you.
What was that?
No. What? You said don't have it in the shot.
I said, do you have any dildos in your office laying around that we need to have removed?
No, you said in the shot. In the shot. This is not in the shot. Like, not now. Well, now it is. But
what is that?
TheraBand. It like helps.
What is it?
Oh, tennis elbow. I don't know, man.
Tennis
it's
elbow?
called TheraBand.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
Yeah. So one thing you get from jujitsu.
Oh.
People pop your arms. And so you use this. Look, I'm going to get you a little demonstration here of the camera. I don't even know what I'm doing. Ooh. And then.
What?
Yeah.
It actually works. It's awesome. Do you give it that too? Do you do that?
You can.
Does that help?
But it's just.
Does that help?
It's hard to get the right motion.
It's like you get like whore's elbow. Have you ever had whore's elbow?
Whore's elbow.
It's like tennis elbow, but it's for people that do a lot of hand jobs. It's whore's elbow.
Yeah, I've had hooker throat. I've had hooker throat. I've never had a whore's elbow.
Wow. I should have known that as soon as you would have to take it to the next level. This is why I was like, I didn't know what to say on your little card. Let me show you what I wrote here. You probably didn't see this, but I was like, how do I bring in a guy that is one of the funniest non-comedians I know? And I've seen your jokes. Stay to not being a comedian. You've sent me jokes you've written, and I've been like, no, you're good being a civilian funny guy.
I try really hard.
But this is what I wrote for you. This was the thumbnail. Do you like that?
Nobody.
Well, you don't have a body in the picture, so this is, it's not nobody. It's not like you're a nobody. It's just you don't have a body because the picture.
all the pictures you had of me, you chose a cryotherapy.
I looked for the one with you with the clown nose, and I couldn't find it. So I went with that. But this is what I wrote on your slide for the day. As hour number 2, I'm joined by Richard Burmaster. He does a bunch of stuff. Don't call him Dick Burm. He hates that. He's kind of okay, I guess. I legitimately, dude.
Am I following up on talk?
Yeah, you're the dessert for lawn talk. You're actually, we went film session and then lawn talk. So yeah, you're the fucking dessert, bro. You're the dessert.
There's like one of your friends right now sitting at home and going, "This isn't going to help me get these weeds out. This is bullshit. This is not going to help."
Unless this guy's going to scare the shit out of the weeds, this isn't going to help me at all.
Just eat the weeds. You'll be fine.
Dude, Submission Hunter Pro in the building. You have Eric showing up. I'm guessing
Look
that's
at
Eric.
this.
Connor
Wait,
Hogan was in the
Reynolds
building.
or Garcia?
I'm guessing
which
Eric
one is
Garcia.
this?
It's Submission Hunter Pro. I had him on yesterday, by the way.
So,
He had nice things to say about you.
he did?
Yeah, and I was like, I've known him a decade. Don't try
I
it.
should probably watch the show. I should also send him his money
You
for
should.
doing that.
You should for sure.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, homie? How has the coronavirus lockdown been treating you?
It hasn't bothered me at all. Like it's it's just another day, man. It's like a flu. I run out and I see old people falling on the ground and I keep moving. It's okay. It's not bothering me at all, man. I mean, we've had some friends who've got it. No one's died.
Okay.
A few I was like, maybe. Nope, didn't get them. So I know it's not really bothering me at all, dude. How about you? Have you got the Rona yet?
Nope, haven't got the Rona yet. We had a scare. We thought Nora had the Rona. Thankfully, turned out to be AIDS. So we're not really.
Again, it came back.
It's like a cycle. You know what I mean? Like she gets it goes away. No,
No, you know what, man?
Sinus
the biggest
infection.
thing with the Rona has been shutting down our businesses. Has been the biggest thing. With
And
it.
you have a lot of businesses.
Yeah, like,
Ever since I've known you, you've had more businesses than success in your life, for sure.
Okay, wait a minute. First of all,
I'm
this
sorry.
comes from
They've
the
made me drink like so much drinking. It's
I want to make sure I'm understanding where this is coming from.
The guy with no
I'm pretty
job?
sure our first interaction together was you trying to sell me T-shirts out of the back of your car.
screw gear, baby. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my
I was
god.
like,
That's
dude,
so funny.
Give me one of everything. Give
Hey,
me one of everything.
shout out to G-Man for the super chat. Thank you, buddy. He said Barry's way too sober this far into a Friday. Oh no, trust me. Connor Hogan said I look like I've been drinking canned wine.
First of all, there's a few good canned wines, not many. My
Oh,
wife drinks
oh,
them. I
really?
don't know what's happening.
Really?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't say that out loud.
No.
Yeah.
You guys drink canned wine?
We don't.
Oh, we don't.
Daddy goes buys. We don't know.
No.
No. I like a bottle of something.
What?
She's okay with a can of.
Really? Is she a
Whatever.
White
I don't
Claw
know.
fan? Do y'all do the White Claw stuff?
No, I'm an adult. I have a mortgage. You know, I don't worry about do my socks match. No, I don't drink White Claw. What's wrong with you? You drink White Claw?
No, bro. Look, I can literally I'm in my office. I literally keep whiskeys in my office. Like,
So I've been
no,
drinking. This,
I don't
have you
fuck
tried
around
this
with
peanut
White
butter
Claw. Are you
whiskey?
kidding me? Fucking White
Have you
Claw.
tried all these like peanut butter whiskeys?
I have a peach whiskey, and that's pretty much it. I have this Texas Mesquite. It tastes like bacon. You would love it.
Yeah, I drink bacon anyway. So I started drinking peanut butter whiskey this week.
That's not
Peanut
a
butter or
thing.
praline whiskeys.
No,
Yeah, that's good.
That's not a thing.
It's a real thing.
No,
It's a real thing.
I'm
It's
going
called
to Google
Screwball.
peanut butter whiskey right now. And if you're
Yeah,
lying,
yeah, go ahead.
then
Go
we're
ahead.
going to talk about what I asked you if we could talk about it, and you said no.
Gonna do it right here on the show. Knuckle deep. Let's go.
Peanut butter whiskey. Let's see.
Screwball, Bittens.
Holy
There's a bunch of 'em.
shit. Oh, it's a cocktail, though. They don't make peanut butter flavored whiskey.
No, it's peanut butter whiskey. Screwball. Like, look up Screwball peanut butter flavored whiskey.
Motherfucker.
Change your life, Barry. Change your life right now.
Let me take a screenshot of this.
It is the easiest thing to drink you've ever tried.
I'm gonna put this on the screen right now. Look, I'm gonna cover your face. No, I'll cover my face.
Hey, wait a minute. What is this?
Look, see? That's look, at 1.5 ounces of Screwball peanut butter
look at the first
whiskey.
line.
Huh?
Yeah.
What is that? Have you had this before?
Yes, I haven't had this, whatever this drink is. I've had peanut butter whiskey in a glass on ice.
This is called a peanut butter and jelly old fashioned.
No, I love old fashions, but that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I don't.
You look like a hobo found some peanut butter and whiskey. That looks terrible. It just random stuff he grabbed. Well, I mean, it was a cherry, I guess.
Dash of Angostura bitters. Oh, yeah, that doesn't. But it confirms. Wow, it confirms what you said.
It's really
There's
good.
legitimately peanut butter whiskey.
I don't lie all the time.
I would have never thought that. Well, I guess we can't talk about that then. I'll leave that in the past.
How's your STDs?
No flare-ups, so it's good. You know, you're never gonna get rid of herpes. It's just you hold it down, you suppress it, like feelings with your ex-wife. You know, listen. This show, when I started the show, one of the things that I did is I started a chat server called the Discord server, and I was telling somebody that it reminds me of the 1560 message boards back in the day. And that is where you and I met a decade ago. And well, maybe it was 2009. I don't know. But
it was like late 08, early 09, somewhere in that time frame.
Because we
were
didn't
getting
start
ready to win a prestigious mug award.
Well, we didn't start the Cage Door until 2010. So we've actually known each other for 12 years then. We met in 2008. And we met on the 1560 message boards. And this is what I've been telling all the deckheads, because I've got this Discord, which is essentially like the 1560 message boards. And they join the Patreon and they get access to the Discord server. And I've been telling them, man, some of the people that you're going to meet in this Discord server, you're going to become friends with. And you're going to be friends with them forever. And they're like, nah, that's not true. 12 years ago, we met, a bunch of dorks met on an internet message board.
A bunch of sports nerds.
And we've started a business together. Like, you know, we've gone to funerals for other friends together. We're
still in my phone as Barry Macca.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are still Barry Macca in my phone. Like, I have this thing, even if I put your name in wrong in my phone, I'll never change it. Whatever I put it in that first time, that's what you are.
That's it.
Like Sijin, I spelled his name Singh. It's been that way for 15 years now. And he's still Singh in my phone. You will always be Barry Macca. Of course, I did find out you go by other aliases as well when we opened a business, and that blew my mind. That blew my mind.
Yes. Go ahead. You want to tell them? Go ahead. And then we'll bring up what, we can.
I just said there was other aliases. I didn't say anything extra.
And actually, I don't. As a 46-year-old man, it doesn't bother me anymore. As a 10-year-old, my name bothered me. People are like, what? So my name is Truman Barrett, but I go by Barry. And when I was 10, Truman was an awful name. Now, if I'm being honest, I kind of wish Truman was my name.
You wish you'd went back to Truman at some point?
It's a cool name, I think. I would like to go by. At 10, no. At 46, absolutely. I think it's a cool name.
I'm going on a date with Truman. No girl wants to say that. No girl saying that.
But I'm 46.
Dad,
I'm married. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but if they introduce you as Truman, you should show up with like boat shoes, like at a landing slip somewhere. And you're like, "Hi,
hello,
my married
Muffy." No, listen. My parents wanted me to be a lawyer, so they named me. They were like, "What's the most lawyer-sounding name?"
Dude, you went completely opposite of that.
No, yeah, I'm definitely not. I'm a fucking failed radio guy with a YouTube show. That's not a lawyer, But no, they wanted me to be a lawyer. So my dad and my grandfather were both named Truman. And so they were like, well, that's a stately.
All right.
It's presidential, right? You've got Truman Capote, Harry Truman.
Were either of them presidents?
Huh?
Were either of them presidents?
No. They were one of them was maybe president. I don't know. He's kind of racist. He might have been president of a Klan chapter.
If you ask me, sir.
So there's Truman Capote and then Harry Truman. That's the only two other Trumans I know, right? But and then my dad and my grandfather. But so I was named after them. But my mom was like, listen. So my dad's name is Truman Lawson Lawson, which I also think is a cool name. But my mom was like, no, we're not going to have Truman Lawson Laminack III. Not going to do that. There was this story called The Love Story, and the main character's name was Barrett. So she thought it would be a great idea to name me Barrett. And then neither of them are used. It's Barry. I don't fucking get it. Like, I would have been fine with Truman. I'd have been fine with Barrett. Barry was a nickname.
Is that family? The family did that, or was it?
Yeah. The family. The family did that. So it was Truman Barrett, and then everybody just called me Barry. I have no fucking idea
because
why.
they all hated Truman.
I think so. My mom was like,
"Makes sense, right?"
Yeah. I honestly, I like it. What's your middle name, by the way?
I don't have one.
That's so full of shit.
No middle name legally. No middle name.
Look it up right now.
Okay, that's creepy.
I'm going to go back to. I'm going to go back to our business documents.
To our business records? Go ahead. It'll say N.A.
Eugene.
That doesn't mean it's
Eugene.
It's Eugene.
Wow.
It's Cornelius, sir. It's Cornelius, how dare you.
Tyrone? What? That's so weird.
Makes sense, though. It makes sense in a lot of areas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, so...
Yeah, I'm poor.
So... Oh, my God. Please don't do that.
What happened?
Please don't do that.
I got one shot at this, Barry. I got one shot at bringing this ship down. All
no,
right? I got one shot.
Yeah, you're doing it. You're gonna do a fine job. I have no doubt you're gonna do a fine job. What have you been up to since last we talked? Because I can't keep up with how many businesses you have. What are you doing now?
Like in total, or just my main things?
You're all of them.
All right, so we've got strong style mixed martial arts. We still have our own gym. You know, we have our fighters and kids classes and all that, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
Still have Richard Burmaster photography. Thanks to you, I figured out how to take photos because of the cage door, and slowly got a little bit better at it over the years.
You're very good at it now. Where was that when I was having to do all that shit?
Well, I had a shitty camera, bro.
So you've got the photography, which I highly recommend if people need photos that they hit you up because you're really good at it.
Just not for your kids. I won't do anything like that, guys.
Okay.
I don't care about your kids. I don't want to be around your kids.
You're a jerk.
I've got. I work for Eric at Garcia Promotions, so I'm not sure what my title is, but whatever Eric needs help with. Did he just call you Todd Packer?
No,
because clearly you must be
Michael
Todd
Scott.
Packer.
No, somebody said Charles Garza said this is like Michael Scott and Todd Packer.
I mean, I have a Dundee Award right here.
Did you have a fucking cover on it? Do you literally have a dust cover on a Dundee? Oh, that's a Team B3. Oh,
it's
wow.
A B3 hoodie. Yeah.
Wow, that's old school.
Yeah. So I'm doing Submission Hunter Pro with Eric, and then doing Fury Fighting Championships with Eric as well. And then during the day, I've been running a massive gym, like a lifestyle fitness club. But I'm not doing that anymore.
Oh, you're not? You good there, buddy? You gonna throw up or what? Like you're gonna be the first guest to ever throw.
8th Wonder Rocket Fuel got back there a little bit. So
what are you drinking right now?
Rocket Fuel, 8th Wonder.
Out of a tumbler?
Well, yeah, I didn't want to bring a can on here. I mean, like you're over here drinking out of a Diet Coke can, like people can't see you.
Yeah, but see, I'll mix it though. Like let's do some.
What are you mixing it? Oh, are you just randomly giving whiskeys?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, what do we want? I did Old Humble. They sent me some special reserve. So, but I'm like,
I'm telling you, you got to get some of these like peanut butter or
I'm gonna try the
pecan
peach.
praline.
I haven't done the peach with a mixer yet, so I'm gonna try that right now.
Wait, why are you mixing it?
Because I'm a bitch. I like whiskey and Coke, but I don't like Coke. I like Diet Coke. So don't fucking judge me.
You don't
been
put
so judgy,
ice,
dick.
Ice, Sir, I will never judge you.
Yeah, I
Never.
usually do, but I forgot to put ice in this before we came back from break. So I don't have ice. It's just straight up, just
Lukewarm
whiskey. And that's where we're at on this show. That's where we have hit rock bottom.
Well, it's good. It's good. It's going well so far. We're like 7 minutes into this. This is torture for everybody listening right now, guys. I'm sorry that I'm not more entertaining with it.
I had Eric on talking about MMA yesterday and business, and I learned a lot about MMA from you. How long have you been around the sport?
I don't know. I went to my first MMA smoker type event in 96, 97. Boxing and wrestling as a kid, went to these fights, and it was basically like tough man competitions they had in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. And these dudes beat the tar out of each other, and they're like, hey, anybody else want to get in there? Oh, I'll try it. I'm 16, man. I'm like, I'll do this. Almost 17. They let us fight and went out there, and then 99, I went into the Army. And so between then and 99, I went to like various little shows. Saw Sam Hoger compete like back in the day, early times, and went in the military and came out, and just that whole time, man, I just kind of stayed around it. Really started jiu-jitsu in 99, and then just have always kind of been around it, man, ever since.
And you've been a big proponent, like you got me involved in it. The cage door, way the cage door started, which I don't know about you, but the cage door, as much as I hated it when it ended, it's one of the things I'm most proud of as an adult. What we did with it, like what we were able to accomplish, was really cool, right? But you got me into it, and people that don't know how the cage door got started, we were friends because of the 1560 message board, and you were into MMA, and you knew I was I was good at websites, IT and shit. And so you were like, hey, I've got this idea for a website. And you said...
Do you remember what you told me?
No. I told you
You gave me somebody else's number. You're like, dude, call this other dude to build this website.
Did I?
You were like, yeah, you were like working for the city or some shit. And you're like, I don't have time.
I was working at 311. I was like, I don't have time for this bullshit. And you were like, well, I think it will be really... No one's doing this. It's basically focusing on the local MMA scene. Not national, not regional, just everything Houston MMA related. And I was like, that sounds so awful.
Yep.
And I said, what's the name?
Exactly how that went.
And I literally, and I was like, I want no part of this. It just sounds awful. And I said, well, what are you going to call it? And you said The Cage Door. And I looked at you and I went, I'm in. I loved the fucking name. It's literally the whole way that otherwise I don't even, you didn't have the fucking want to make it go by yourself.
No, I was always very much, especially then.
You're a good idea guy.
I had the idea and maybe the concept in my head, but like I was basically like Michael J. Fox trying to draw stuff once it came down to doing it. You know, just scribbles. It wouldn't have made any sense. It wouldn't have made any sense at all.
That's 2 ways you're going to get me kicked off the phone. Oh, God. Are we still on?
But that's exactly what it was. Like, I needed someone who could actually take me yelling out dumb words and put them in sentences and make it actually become a story. And that's where really you came in. And not only did you have the technical ability to create, but you were also very creative on your own. So you were able to come up with things and go, dude, like, instead of doing this, let's do this way. And it became like, oh, that's exactly what I was thinking we should do anyway. So let's do it that way. Smart man.
It was amazing what we were able to pull off with just 2 of us. And then, of course, AJ came in later, bought you out. Or I think I got out, and then you were like, fuck this. Do you want it? I don't want to do it. And then I bought it from you and sold half to AJ. It was crazy. And what I loved is that nobody was ever mad at the other people involved. Like, I was burned out, but then AJ came in, and but it was your baby. Like, you literally had the idea for the cage door. And at one point, and this is why I say I'm so proud of this, at one point, it was one of the 25,000 most trafficked websites in the nation. And when you think about that, when you think about how many websites there are to visit in the U.S., there's millions. And we cracked the top 25,000. It was crazy what we did. Oh, and by the way, shout out to the Green Ranger for punching a kid. Put us on the map.
Well, he didn't tap, so
Neither did
Yeah.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Imagine that.
It did put us on the map. And to be fair, man, one of the guys who really, I hate to say it, JDF deserves a lot of credit for the success of Houston MMA, only because,
Ooh, we're gonna fight. You and I.
I hate it. Wait, this is the only reason why. There was no real media attention on Houston MMA, besides us doing our thing, until Mick convinced him to take a fight. And when he decided to take a fight for Lone Star Beatdown, that is when Access TV, then HD Net, came in to film it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's true. And that's probably what led to Legacy getting a deal.
That's what led to.
That was the catalyst. That was the spark. That's not what got the deal. But that was the beginning of putting Legacy on Access TV, which put Houston MMA on the map.
Right. And that's the only credit I give him for that, is that because he already had a name, he was able to get a little bit more media attention than what we could get. No, JDF should not be his next guest, Luis. I don't know why.
See, a lot of people like you and I know this cat, and I got in trouble with, who did I get in trouble with for basically saying that those fights were bullshit?
There was a couple people.
Huh?
But I mean, was
the fights that dude had as a pro were bullshit fights, and
even some of his amateur fights.
Yeah, like. And at the time we kind of went along with it, and we should have probably been calling it out. But let's be real. I know that the fanboys, I know that the Power Rangers fanboys, even as adults, want to believe that he can fight in MMA. He was given cans, and half the time, they kind of knew what was coming. I mean,
you weren't you at the event that got canceled?
Yeah,
the one in that night. They tried to get some dude out of the buffet to fight him or some shit. And
there was video of him training with an opponent.
Right.
So and this is, people don't know this shit, and I'm like, fuck it now. I don't give a fuck. I'm so far removed from it that I don't give a shit anymore. But yeah, this whole heroism and holding the green Power Ranger and he's such a badass. That used to drive me nuts, by the way, when we would see people be like, he's so badass, he could beat up anybody. He's like, well, look, I don't think he's not a tough guy. I think he's tough. He works out and he's trained and all that.
He can fight. He can fight.
Yeah.
But
if he fought a skilled mixed martial artist,
no.
He ain't.
It wouldn't work. He was really good at fighting tough guys who would basically kind of stand there and get beat
brawlers.
Up.
Brawlers, what was it, Mac Truck?
Mac Truck. He fought Chris Rose early, and before Chris Rose only had a handful of doing anything. But Chris Rose was just a tough kid who'll fight anybody. He was like, I don't care, I'll go fight anybody. So, but if you look at that time, JDF had supposedly 100 years of training or some shit. I don't know. Yeah. And Chris had came home from work that day, to come out,
working on the oil field. Yeah.
So he never really fought anyone of any consequence. And again, I'm glad that the dude was there at the time he was. You and I were old enough that I wasn't a Power Rangers fan.
I wasn't either.
I knew nothing about them. And so once it became we got the Power Rangers guys, okay, that's cool.
I do know I exploited it for the Cage Door,
right,
for our YouTube and hits.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I exploited the shit out of it, but that's what he did too. Sure. So I didn't feel bad for the Power Rangers going to get us 25,000 hits on YouTube with one 2-minute interview. I didn't feel bad about that because he was exploiting that shit.
Yeah, and you see, and that's where I think his presence. Now, again, I don't look at him as in any whole of light like a Mick Maynard or a Saul Solis, anything of that nature.
Right.
But his presence that he had and the media that he brought helped the Cage Store. It helped
really
us.
didn't
You were
know
smart
that.
enough to take what you're getting from him.
Well, and see, no, I really didn't. I didn't. I guess because I was so into. I was so buried into the technology and the website.
Right.
You were the people person. I was the nerdy guy that sat on his laptop and did shit. And that's why it worked though, because you would go and talk to people,
Right.
and you would get Mick Maynard to agree to do something with us. You would get JDF to do something. You would get all these different people in the scene. You were able to corral all these different individuals and create kind of this cohesiveness to make them play nicely with the cage door. I just sat back.
That's the only thing I had. That's the only thing I had, because I could have done anything else you were doing. I remember one time you sent me something. Hey, can you get this posted on the website? I was like, yeah. And then I remember like sitting down going, I can't do this.
2 weeks.
I need to wait. I'll wait a couple days. I'll tell him some shit went wrong, and then I'll send it back to him. You know?
That's exactly what you did. Oh my God. All the time. By the way, do you remember R. Silva from the message boards?
What's up, Big Roland? Yeah.
See, this is when I tell people that the Discord where they're creating friendships and meeting people and fellow deckheads that'll last forever. Like Roland is a former 1560 P1 that was on the message boards that we met. He was R. Silva on the message boards, but he said when he brought his Power Rangers flute to the Octagon, we all kind of knew he wasn't legit. He never brought a flute to the Octagon, Roland.
I wish he would have. It would have been way cooler than just walking out.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Fight Island? You're one of the guys that I know that has been heavily involved in MMA, both locally, regionally, with Mick and building legacy. And
Right.
What do you think about Fight Island? Is this the right thing to do?
Yeah. I mean, they're taking advantage of a whole sport right now. Like nobody can have fans. No one can have fans. But at least with Fight Island, they can make it somewhat secure. Mm-hmm. As a fight fan, dude, I think it's amazing. I think it's awesome. I get to still see fights. I get 4 weeks in a row or whatever it is coming up with fights and all these title fights coming up. I think Fight Island's great. I don't know what the long-term use of it is. Like, is it a good spending of the money? But as long as they're paying fighters the crap they're paying them now, yeah, it's going to be that.
That's interesting you say that. You're not on board with the way that things are going in MMA as far as fighter pay?
No.
What do you have a problem with? I think, to me, as an outsider, I haven't been around MMA in years. Ever since I left the cage door, I was done. You know that. I burned out. I was like, fuck this scene, fuck these people, fuck this sport. Like, I gave up on all of it. And I'm slowly starting to watch fights again. Like, every it's got to be a really good card. But what are your thoughts on the way that things are going for fighters and pay right now?
I think you have professional athletes who are being paid like non-professionals. And you have a group of guys who are getting 18% of the profits. And you've got this company who deservedly so, Zufo, whatever they are now, I don't know what it's called now, WMEIMG. They deserve to make the larger percentage of the profits. But do they deserve to make that much? Most sports, it's 60-40, 50-50, whatever it may be. But fighters don't have that ability yet. And one thing is they'll never unionize. They never will.
Why will there never be a fighters union? That's two things. It's weird. I went from MMA to comedy, and that's the same thing. There's never going to be a comedians union because we can't get our shit together. Why won't there be a fighters union?
Right, exactly, because you could sit there, Barry, and you can get all your friends to go, hey, we're not going to walk on stage for less than $1,000 a show, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And there'll be 3 jerks outside.
I'm talking $30, bro.
Dude, local shows. Dude, I'll do it. I'll do it for the $25 coupon that you give us for the buffet afterward.
Right.
There'll always be someone who want to step up. Will the quality be the same? No. John Jones stepping away, he says now, for 2 to 3 years to try to rectify fighter pay. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen. But then again, you look at it as well. The average fighter in the UFC, if they fight 3 times a year, they're probably going to, if they win 3 times a year, they're going to make $100,000. Now, most of us are like, that's not too bad. That's $100,000 a year isn't bad. But at the same point, you're a professional athlete. You are in the top 1 to 10% of your sport, and your sport is making billions. They sold for what, $4 billion? Billions. Dana White got $450 million out of that. And so now you have a guy like Mick Maynard who went from, how crazy is it? We went from knowing Mick as this drunken Australian dude at these fights that we were trying to get in the
This
legs
is a
of
guy, dude.
And-
I try to tell people all the time, there's no better person in the sport than Mick Maynard.
100%.
I don't care who you like. He is the most genuinely good dude you'll ever meet in the sport of MMA, maybe in sports. Period. Like that's Mick. He's just a salt of the earth dude.
Yeah, he's one of the best guys I've ever had the pleasure of knowing in my life.
Except
And he's there work right, 100%. He's there working with the
Why
fighters.
the face?
And this got stuck. Sorry. So the fighters, you got a guy there now who cares about the fighters, but Mick can only do so much as well.
Yeah.
A fighter's only going to make so much. And on the outside looking in, you look at a guy's been in the UFC 2 or 3 years. They're making, and now they're getting over $100,000 a year, but they still, that doesn't count taxes. You got to pay taxes out of that.
Mm-hmm.
You got that. They just give you your contracted money. You got to take care of everything else, and you end
Taxes
up making
corner like you got to pay. Dude, you got a lot of bills to pay.
You got a lot of bills to pay, and you end up making. If you make $30,000 a year, like you're doing pretty good. If you look at, here's a sad story. Jeff Neal. You remember Jeff Neal?
Yep.
So
we just
got
talked
to
about
watch
it yesterday
Jeff
with
Neal.
Eric Garcia, by the way, because he came up through Garcia Promotions.
Right.
At first,
right. He is now the number 10 ranked 170-pound fighter in the world. And he's working at Texas Steakhouse. Of the world, Craig. And he's a waiter. Because he doesn't make enough money. There's so many stories like that. So many stories like that.
And that's where when you hear about fighters being upset about the money, when you hear about the Reebok deal pissing off fighters because they can't get their own sponsorships, this is why. Because you got one of the 10 best fighters in his weight class that has to have a job as a waiter during the day to be able to do the sport he loves at night, because the people that are making billions and hundreds of millions won't pay the guy a couple million.
Yeah,
or $1 million.
Fighters.
I mean, bro, I guarantee you, if you pay Jeff Neal $100K a year net, if that was his take home after all of his expenses, he would be ecstatic. He's like, if I get to fight and make 6 figures, it's unbelievable. Like, it's not happening.
And there's so many guys like him, man. And it will. I don't know if it'll ever change. The sport's just the way it is, because it's much like boxing. People talk about boxing, and yes, the top end of boxers make way more than the top end of MMA fighters.
Yeah.
But when you break down the back of the card, you start getting to the preliminaries and the root of the card, the guys who are selling the tickets and the money. There's not a lot of money in there. Eric Garcia runs Garcia Promotions and pays people as much as he can because he loves the fighters and he was a fighter, not because it's profitable for Garcia Promotions.
Right.
Regional money isn't what people think it is. Like, it's funny. You and I both know there was guys who were fighting for 100, man. $100 to show up here, $100 to win.
Yeah. So a guy, if he won his fight, he would leave with $200 in his pocket before expenses, before he paid for medicals. Like you have all that shit
Medicals,
to cover.
Expenses,
trainers,
maybe he might have got a travel per diem. If he came from far, more than likely not. Probably need to get a hotel room at night if it's in the town.
Yeah. But
it is what it is. That's just kind of where the sport is. This sport is still only realistically, let's call it 30 years old.
Yep.
It is still a growing sport. You're talking about boxing, it's hundreds of years
old. Yeah.
Versus 30 years of MMA. And, I think it'll eventually get better. I don't think we'll ever see a union. I think the UFC will become more and more like the NFL, as it is the epicenter. It will be number one. That won't go away. Fighter pay will get a little bit better, but not much. This is not a, Dana White said the other day, and I hate to agree with him, this is not a career. This is not a career. This is an opportunity. You have let's call it 10 years. You have 10 years to make as much money as you can, and then you got to go.
Yeah, but if the guy with all the money is preventing you from making as much money as you can, it's kind of difficult to do that.
And his words, go somewhere else and make more than I'm going to pay you. Nobody will right now because the interest just isn't there.
Yeah.
Much as we talk about it being great, it's not there yet.
But I think he could get rid of the Reebok deal and allow fighters to get their own advertisers, to get their own backers.
That Reebok, nothing will ever go to where the Reebok deal. That Reebok deal ruined an entire industry.
Yeah.
There was clothing providers, there was different brands, First Round, Venom, all these brands that were out there that were paying guys $20,000 to go wear their shirt.
Yep.
You know, $5,000 to go get on the back of their shirt. You had regional guys. You got a Jacob Silva. Jacob Silva can make $5,000 to $10,000 every fight just off of sponsors and ticket sales. Like, that dude hustles.
Yeah.
But Jacob Silva knows he's a business. Now he's going to go to the UFC. He's going to get $1,500 from Reebok for his first time.
He's losing money to fight in the UFC.
He's losing money. Now when he gets
for his first fights. Now as he progresses, if he's good and he moves up, he'll make more money.
Like 15 fights though, man, before you start to get like decent money from Reebok.
By the way, truck driver Pookie said, I went from laughing my ass off to really interested to heartbroken. Y'all are messing with my emotions. Y'all just ruined the Green Ranger for me. My childhood just died a little.
He ruined himself, Pookie. Sorry.
That's the one thing I don't think people understand about the sport of MMA. When you look at like a Derek Lewis, I said as much, and I would tell him at the sake of getting my ass whooped. But if you and I were probably more knowledgeable about the MMA scene at one point in Houston than anybody else, because of the way we covered it. And if we were to have pinpointed who we thought would be the biggest UFC star to come out of the city of Houston, Derek Lewis was not going to be the top 3. Maybe not the top 5.
I didn't have him getting to the UFC.
Isn't that crazy?
Like he lost a fight to Sean Jordan regionally.
Twice. He lost to Sean Jordan.
And I didn't think at that point, I didn't think he would go because I didn't know if his skill set could overcome more well-rounded fighters. Now he has proven everybody wrong.
Everybody.
And he is by far the most successful Texas Houston-based fighter we've ever seen. No one else has come up to the top 5 in the world.
No.
And you know, he has done that off of pure heart, determination, and maybe the biggest power punches we've ever seen. And the guy is absolutely amazing, a pleasure to talk to. But a decade ago, when you and I were covering it, I remember us having conversations, man. We're sitting there and wherever we're eating is like, who could you give me 5 guys right now in the Houston scene that are going to go to the UFC? None of them, man. Like there was Andrew Craig, who we all knew was going to go. We all knew Andrew Craig was going to go. Alex Morano was too much of a new kid that anyone to think he was going to go to the UFC at that time.
Right, when he made it.
No one. You were calling him Baby Fedor or something like that. Like he was just and there was someone else we thought were going to make it. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Ray Trujillo back then had a good record. I thought was going to go to the UFC.
Yeah, there are a lot of guys that didn't make it that we thought would. And there were a lot of guys that we didn't think that would. But nobody saw Derek Lewis being the star that he is. And also because off camera, he's so shy and introverted. But, man, he figured it out, dude. And it's been amazing.
He did. You remember trying to interview him? Like it was terrible. Like I love Derek. And you know, at one point, Reagan and I actually managed him early on in his career. You know, B3, he was a Team B3 fighter. Yeah. And the dude would just, he didn't want to do interviews. He didn't want to talk to nobody. I remember I was trying to get him on 97.9 The Box on the Mad Hatter show. And he was like, no, man, I ain't doing that. Okay.
He didn't want to talk.
What am I supposed to do? I'm going to force him up there? You know, like, wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, you weren't making him do anything.
No, he's taken that awkwardness he has with people and made it into one of his strengths. People look forward to a Derek Lewis interview, man.
Oh, yeah. My balls was hot. That's amazing. People want to know about your thoughts on CM Punk. Titan Hugo said, what's his thoughts on CM Punk actually thinking he could do something? And think about this. This is why guys like the Green Ranger were so bad for MMA, because you gave people a false sense of, well, if JDF can do it, I certainly can do it. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Right. So leading up to, I was in Mike Jackson's corner for that fight. Mm-hmm. And, leading up to that fight, I remember looking through stuff and thinking, well, he's not going to be any good. There's no way he's going to be any good. Maybe in the amount of time he's been training, maybe he's learned some jiu-jitsu. A year you can pick up some decent jiu-jitsu. Yeah, 2 years you can probably get some, maybe you can get a blue belt. You can get a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Okay. Mm-hmm. And if I was going to say that Mike Jackson at that time had any weakness, it would be on the ground in jiu-jitsu, even though he is surprisingly better than what you would think on the ground.
He's a purple now, right? Or he was a blue at the time, but I think he was a purple.
He's a long time whatever he is. He should be a rank above it because like he's good. Mike's way better than he gets credit for on the ground. And I remember when the fight started, it was cool. We walk out, man. We got so many boos. Like Chicago hated us. They were all
fucking hate Mike Jackson, and he's the greatest dude.
Video. He is. I've got this video of us walking out and the crowd booing us, and Mike Jackson just going, "Give me the boos, give me the boos, give me the boos," and I loved it. I loved it, man.
No one embraces hate more than Mike the Truth Jackson. Yeah. I mean, he eats it up. He fucking loves it if you hate him. Loves it.
And then in the fight starts. Punk throws his first combination, and I looked over at Pat Militich next to me, and Pat's giggling.
Another legend in the game.
Another legend. Pat's giggling. Bob Perez immediately goes, "Oh, this will be easy." And all three of us, if the UFC, I know they had those corner cams. The corner cam of us basically in the first 30 seconds going, "You got this, Mike." We'll
be in the back, buddy.
I don't think he hit Mike one time, unless Mike let him. I remember Mike letting him try to feel out a little bit. As a fighter, you kind of see what the guy's got a little bit.
Yeah,
dude, he had nothing, no answers from Mike. And at the end of the second round, Mike was getting booed, or he was getting people upset because he wasn't finishing Punk.
He got chastised by Dana White.
Mike was very smart because Mike said, "Look, I want to beat him for 15 minutes. I'm not trying to knock him out. I want to beat him up for 15 minutes to let him know you are not a fighter." Mm-hmm. Mike had no intentions of trying to knock him out. Now, Mike also didn't want to be the guy who ran in there with his chin up in the air, throwing a big punch, and somehow ran into a knee from CM Punk.
Yeah, that's a scary proposition.
Anything can happen in a fight. But I can tell you afterwards, Mike beat him so bad. When we went back to the locker rooms, that guy was throwing up. He had a concussion. They took him out on a stretcher. Mike beat the tar out of CM Punk that night and still got chastised for it because he's a bad guy.
Yeah, that was funny because when what's her name, Amanda Nunes, her last fight, she kind of who was it that she fought? I forget her name.
It wasn't Raquel Pennington.
No, whoever it was, she let her off the hook. Right, round 5. I mean, she basically takes her down and lays on her,
off of it.
lets her off the hook, and then Mike goes, and I tweeted that out. I was like, "Oh, that's a classy move by Amanda Nunes to let her opponent off the hook," because it was obvious that they didn't belong in the ring together. And Mike goes, "Yeah," and then I got chastised for doing that. I was like, "Good point."
He did, man.
Good point.
He did.
Mike don't realize people don't realize Mike was a Golden Gloves boxer. Like, he's legitimately good with his hands. Not a great jiu-jitsu guy, not a great ground guy. Good. He can hold his own blue, purple belt somewhere in there. But yeah, he got a raw deal on that.
He got a raw deal, man. There was no time that Mike was in danger. But also, Mike wanted him to realize, man, CM Punk got there because of his name.
Yep.
There's so many guys who worked so hard to get to the UFC. You look at guys who we know. Look at a Colin Wright. Been fighting for 12, 13 years now. Has got a good record. And it's always one win away or one loss away from getting in or getting out. Look at Derek Krantz is a great example of a guy who every time he got to a title fight would kind of lose that title fight. And then the guy who beat him went to the UFC. Yep. And it took years and years and years. And then CM Punk just goes, "Hey, I got a million Twitter followers. I'm going to go to the UFC." And Dana says, "Okay."
It's the same. Dude, it's so funny, the parallels between, and I talked about this yesterday with Eric, but it's so true. The parallels between MMA and comedy are uncanny. Because the same is true in comedy. You got a guy who's got 1 million followers on YouTube or Twitter, and he's making funny videos, and all of a sudden he's headlining at Houston Improv with no chops, no ability to actually stand on stage for 45 minutes and tell jokes. Does 10 minutes, 9 of it sucks. But he's got 1 million followers, and he sells the place out, and that's exactly how it is in MMA. Okay, it wasn't.
I'm sorry about that.
No,
I should. I'm getting really good. I've been working on my.
Give me one of your jokes. Give me one of your jokes you wrote. I want to hear a joke. By the way, Eric Rosendo said he used to love Vitor Belfort. Now he's a Dominic Reyes. I loved Vitor. Even I don't give a fuck if he was a cheater. I loved Vitor Belfort. That he was
Vitor. I watch if I had my perfect fight. I want to see Vitor walking out with an IV in his arm, like just pumping shit into his arm as he comes out, and Brock just chewing all the roids walking out, and just let the two gorillas just get after it.
I love that.
I'd be okay with that.
Oh, man.
I'd be okay. Yeah, I think she asked about Dominic Reyes. Yeah, he could definitely be a star. He's got the tools. He's got the look for sure. He's a man dime running around, and the dude can fight, man. Yeah, he's got that ability.
Somebody want to know, isn't CM Punk back in the WWE? I don't watch WWE, so I don't know.
So sadly, I don't watch it, but I do keep up with it just to like have some stupid knowledge in my head because I'm a terrible person. So he's not back in the WWE, but he's on some network where they report about wrestling. Maybe it's ESPN. I don't know. And he's like a backstage talking head guy.
Oh, really?
But he's not. Yeah, he's not wrestling again though.
It's amazing, man. These cats. It's unbelievable. Somebody wants to know. They said, whatever happened to that kid from Katy, Sage? Whatever happened to Sage Northcutt? He was the golden boy. He was the gem. He's all sexy with his abs like mine. Look at those.
Look at that. It looks exactly like Sage.
Bro, come on now. You don't want none of that. Ow. Ow. I got a cramp.
Have you been drinking a lot? Sage actually had a good run in the UFC, and he had a good run. He was like 7-3.
Good.
It was good.
Good.
It was good. It was all right. He had some pains.
Oh, there you go. Back off a little. All right. He had an all right.
And then he left to go to the 1FC, and as usual, his father, who is terrible at fighting, should never be helping people at all, said, I know what's a great idea. Let's put him in a fight against Cosmo Alexander, a multiple-time Muay Thai world champion.
Huge mistake.
Who's an absolute monster.
Yeah.
And Sage basically had his face rebuilt for him.
Yeah.
In one punch.
Not good. Don't do that.
Not when you rely on your looks.
Hey, it's Lance.
Hey,
our British.
Lance.
Look, it's Mr. Hedgehog himself. Lance is hello, mate. Look, I love Lance, but he's Cosmo. Terrible matchmaking. The gang's all here. I feel like, man, it's like a cage door reunion. Eric would have paid $80 to see your roid match between Vitor and Brock.
I would pay that myself, sir. Also, I'll pay for the roids. Like we'll make this happen.
Dude, what do you got coming up? You doing anything cool? Anything we all should pay attention to?
We got Submission Hunter Pro coming up on the 24th of this month. I've got, outside of working for Eric at Submission Hunter Pro, I've got 5 of my students on there who'll be competing as well. And then, man, I'm working on my stand-up, getting ready to become an opener for Bear.
Shut up!
I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
No,
it's gonna happen.
Give me one joke you've written. One joke. I'll wait. Give me one joke that you've written. I want to hear it.
You mean I'll mail it to you. Give me a minute. I'll mail it to you.
No, I want it right now. I want it right now.
Out of stamps. I don't have any stamps, dude. What do you want me to do?
I want to hear one joke. One.
A grasshopper walks into a bar. Bartender says, "Hey man, we have a drink named after you." The grasshopper goes, "You have a drink named Steve?"
Oh yeah.
Did you hear the oh yeah? Did you hear that? That was such great timing for a super chat. So when people can give money on super chats to support the show. Yeah. And then when it does it, it goes, oh, yeah. And literally, right when you told your joke, oh, yeah.
I'm just
fucking hilarious. Your timing as a comedian is amazing.
Thank you. I told you this years ago. But I want to I want to be a cover comedian where I want to go out and do everyone's good bits. I'm going to do everybody's good bits.
That fire hit your ass. I'm like, bro, you can't do Richard Pryor. You can't. Please don't do Richard Pryor. That fire hit your ass. Like, no, Rich, please.
And every week I'll mix it up. I'll do Chappelle's set one week. I'll come back in.
Amy Schumer.
I'm only gonna do black comedians.
My vagina. Like, what? No, bro. You can't cover female comics. My vagina right now is very itchy. Everybody's like, the fuck is this guy talking about? I think a cover comic would be good, though. That's called a thief. Charles Garza hit us with the super chat. That's what the timing was. But he said, shots on the way out. So I've got, look at that. What? I've got some Conor McGregor for the MMA guy. Hey, dude, this was fun. I can't believe it's over already. It's 3:56. I gotta cut you loose.
So sweaty. I'm so sweaty.
Yeah. This is for you. This is for the deckheads. Happy 4th of July.
Thanks, man. I'll finish. I'll finish
not
my
good,
eighth
by the
wonder
way.
on that.
Huh? You what? Oh, you're gonna finish? Okay. Charles Garza, thank you for the
Eighth
super
wonder
chat,
on
buddy.
that.
Thank you everybody that tuned
Hey
in.
man, this was awesome, dude. Thanks so much for having me, man.
This was long overdue. I should have had you on the nightly chats a long time ago, and we just never got around to it. But you're a hilarious dude. You're one of the funniest non-comics I know, and I mean that. And I love you to death. And I hope you keep killing it in whatever you do. All the 5,000 businesses you have. How can people follow
Thanks,
you?
dude.
Tell people where to follow
Love
you.
it.
Tell people Instagram or whatever.
Guys, you can show enough stuff on all the same platforms. You can look up microtruth.com and listen to some of Mike and I's podcasts.
Yeah, you guys have a really good podcast, by the way. It's called
Thanks, man. The Truth About Stuff.
The Truth About Stuff. It's really
just
good.
us, like,
Highly
full
recommend.
time.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. So go check that out as well. That is Dick Burm, Richard Burmaster, buddy. Thank you so much, man. Much love, my
Thanks,
friend.
brother.
That's it. That is another week of Barry on Deck in the books. Good times had by all. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you all for the support. Thank you all for being on the Discord and the Patreon and the Twitters and everywhere else. Next week, I would love to tell you who I have. It's kind of spotty right now. It's up in the air on some of the guests. But man, I tell you what, the support has been amazing. You guys have been amazing. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Please, 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 please be safe. Be careful. Be kind. And most importantly, love each other. All right, we'll see you guys Monday, man. Y'all take care of yourselves. Daddy's making a YouTube video!